So this is the home-built log skidder that I made for skidding out a bunch of logs out of my woods. I had a few logs logged out, and as well as had a ton of trees that were killed by the emerald ash borer that you saw me process on the firewood processor. And although I published a video with me actually using this, dragging stuff out, I didn't do a walk around. I did record some material, but just kind of archived it and decided not to publish it. Over the last week, I have posted pictures of this in 3 or 4 different threads in different Facebook groups of guys asking what other people built to skid logs. And since there happened to be quite a bit of interest in people building their own skidders, thought what the heck, I'll go ahead and use some of the archive footage that I have. So some of the video you're getting ready to see is of this on my old tractor, skidding out logs. So this is it. It's rusted. Unfortunately, I didn't paint it as soon as I should have, so I need to have it sandblasted, painted. But this is it, and we will go to the other footage here and you can see the walk around. Hey guys, Jared here. I thought I'd take the time to just show you what I do with the logs, how I get them ready, how I attach them, and all of that good stuff. So I'll get the camera flipped around here and then we'll start. So what I've done so far is I've just pulled up a pretty good size ash tree that I fell. Took out one section already. This is a good size middle section, and I just pulled up to it with the forks on the tractor and just spun it around so I could get to it. Now it happened to land nice and easy. I usually try to roll it to where I have a little bit of gap under the front so it's easier to get the chains under it. And then I'll just hook up and cinch the chains. So the last video, or I think maybe all the videos I've done so far with this, I only had 2 hooks. Just that one and that one on this. Well, since then, I've added 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more hooks. So it makes it a little easier to carry the chains and keep them up off the ground. But I'm using a log chain here. Got a slip hook on one end. It's got a grab hook on the other, but really don't use it that much. And what I'll do is I'll just get the chain wrapped around the log and try to put the hook where the weight keeps it there and try to noose it pretty close to the end. Now what I've done preparation is I've already, when I backed up, lowered the 3-point hitch. And since this is not too far up off the ground and I'm a little bit away from it, I'm just going to cinch it nice and tight. Now if this log was sitting up on another one and was higher up in the air, I would keep this up a little bit when I chained it, because when I pull it off of the log and I finally get it out to where I'm staging all of these, I don't want a short chain and all of that weight of the log on the skidding attachment when it's all the way at the ground, and then I can't get my chain off because of all the weight and the tension. So I would cinch it higher, that way I would have a little bit of extra slack. So here, we'll just grab it about there and that should work out well. And then when I lift it, it'll pull it closer, and I try to keep it a little bit away. The heavier logs do pretty good. You get some of them, and if you have too much chain slack, they'll drag and then they'll bang, drag and bang, drag and bang. So I try to keep that from happening. But the nice little cross brace there at the bottom, which is for the strength of the whole skidding attachment, but it also keeps the log from being able to swing forward and hitting a drawbar or anything like that that's actually up underneath the tractor. So let's fire up the tractor and lift it up and see how it works. Now I've stopped here because I want to make one very important comment about skidding out logs, especially with your 3-point hitch. My attachment's pretty high, right in line with my top link, which creates a pivot point. If you were to get something stuck on a limb, it would actually take and make the tractor front end lift up. By using my skidding attachment and lifting the front end of the log, and I could actually probably cinch that just a little bit more. After I get logs spun around, sometimes I'll stop, drop, back up closer to it, cinch it up another link or two, and then continue on. But the front end of the log's up off the ground, so it's not digging into the path the whole way, but more importantly, it's not going to get stuck on any roots or anything like that, causing the tractor to tip up. So definitely make sure whatever you do, whatever you build, make sure that you are keeping the front of the log up off the ground. That way you don't risk tipping the tractor up and possibly even rolling it all the way over backwards on top of yourself. Obviously that would put a pretty bad dent in your day. But all right, let's continue on, drag it out front. And normally when I pull out, I don't shut the tractor off, but I thought it'd be a little easier for you guys to hear. So now what I've done is I've just pulled out front, where I'm staging a whole bunch of logs, getting ready for the firewood processor that we are renting. And just stopped, backed up a little bit so I was close to it. Now we'll lower 3-point hitch. That may need to actually, there we go. So now that's down, now just unhook the chain like normal. Throw it back up on the grab hooks. And off we go. So now I'll spin around, grab this with the forks, and stack it up with the rest of these logs here. And that's it. If you got any other questions or want to know any more details about the skidding attachment, just let me know. I do plan on making some changes to it in the future. I would like to build some plate, put a winch on it. That way I can grab logs that aren't right up against the path, drag them to me instead of hooking up chains, dragging them, getting back off and pulling them over. Just winch them right up to the tractor and be ready to go. And maybe even build something for log tongs or something like that, but don't know. It's a work in progress. I'm going to put a trailer hitch thing on the bottom, but for now I just needed something quick and dirty so I can start skidding out logs and getting them ready. So this is what I've ended up with so far, and it's been working fantastic. It's been a whole lot easier and better to use than I was just using the quick hitch there for the longest time, and nowhere to store chains, anything like that. So this has worked out great. And I've even, when I've had some smaller logs, I've logged out 2 or 3 at a time, skidded out 2 or 3 at a time, so it made it nice for that. But click on the thumbs up, like, subscribe, and you'll get notifications of more upcoming videos. Thanks, guys.